It is a new dawn for Nigeria's security architecture, but one that comes with heavy questions and even heavier boots on the ground. If you have been following the news lately, you might have felt the shift in the air. The headlines are screaming, and the reality on the ground is changing faster than many of us can keep up with. We are talking about the arrival of specialized United States military personnel right here on Nigerian soil. Yes, you heard that right. A US Military Anti-Terrorism Squad has touched down, and the whispers about a possible military base are getting louder by the day. This is not just a rumor. This is a significant geopolitical move happening in January 2026 that could redefine our national sovereignty and our fight against insurgency. Let's get straight to the gist of what is happening. Just days ago, specifically around mid-January 2026, the United States Africa Command, known as AFRICOM, confirmed the delivery of critical military supplies to Abuja. But it is not just about crates of ammunition or new rifles. We are seeing a deployment of US Army Security Assistance Command troops. These are not your average soldiers. These are specialized trainers and advisors from the Security Assistance Training Management Organization, or SATMO. They have arrived to conduct intensive platoon and company-level training with Nigerian infantry battalions. They call it partnership, but when you have foreign boots on the ground conducting operations and training in a sovereign nation, it signals a massive shift in defense policy. Now, before we dive deeper into the implications of a potential US military base, I need you to understand the timeline that led us here. This didn't just happen overnight. Remember Christmas Day, December 25th, 2025? While many of us were celebrating with our families, the skies over Sokoto State were lighting up. The US military, in coordination with the Nigerian government, conducted airstrikes targeting ISIS-linked militants in the northwest. That operation was a game changer. It was the first time in a long time we saw such direct US involvement in kinetic operations on our soil. It was a clear signal that Washington is no longer watching from the sidelines. They are in the game. This brings us to the money. You see, nothing moves in international relations without a budget, and the figures we are seeing for 2026 are staggering. The United States has authorized a whopping $413 million for counterinsurgency and security operations in Nigeria and West Africa for the 2026 fiscal year. This funding is part of the National Defense Authorization Act, signed just last month. When a foreign power allocates nearly $500 million for security operations in your region, they are not just sending aid, they are buying influence, and they are establishing a foothold. This is where the talk of a military base begins to make sense. You don't spend that kind of money without needing a command center, a logistics hub, a place to pack your assets. I know many of you are wondering, is this good for us? On one hand, we have been battling Boko Haram, ISWAP, and bandits for over a decade. Our troops are stretched thin and our resources are limited. The arrival of American technology, intelligence, and firepower could be the hammer we need to finally crush these insurgents. We have seen the delivery of A-29 Super Tucano aircraft, and now we are seeing the personnel to back it up. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wayudi Shaibu, has openly called for this deeper strategic cooperation. He knows the challenges on the ground, and he welcomes the support. But here is the other side of the coin, and this is why you need to pay close attention. When you invite a superpower to set up shop in your backyard, you are also inviting their enemies. We are seeing a global power struggle between the US, Russia, and China. Russia is expanding its influence in the Sahel, right next door to us in Niger and Mali. China is building economic ties everywhere. The US does not want to lose Nigeria to these rivals. So, is this anti-terrorism squad really just about saving us from bandits, or is it about securing Nigeria as a strategic fortress against Russian and Chinese influence in Africa? Now I've been talking for a bit, and if you are enjoying this breakdown of the security situation and want to stay ahead of the news that matters to Nigeria, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more people who need to know what is happening in our country. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We are committed to bringing you the truth, no matter how complex it gets. Go ahead, click that subscribe button now so we can continue this conversation. Welcome back. Let's talk about the base aspect again. For years, the Nigerian government has denied plans for a foreign military base. They've always said Nigeria is sovereign. We don't host foreign bases. But look at the pattern. We have the joint working group established. We have the lobby deal signed by our national security advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, to a US firm to smooth things over with the Trump administration. We have the $413 million budget. And now we have US troops on the ground for training. In military terms, the line between a training facility and a base is very thin. If you have permanent structures, permanent staff, and a constant rotation of troops, you have a base, whether you call it that or not. Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State recently mentioned plans for a military base to tackle banditry in his state. While he was referring to a Nigerian military establishment, the integration of US intelligence and support into these local operations is becoming seamless. The U.S. Defense Attaché, Lieutenant Colonel Semira Moore, has pledged commitment to intelligence sharing and joint operational planning. This means American eyes are seeing what our generals see. American drones are flying where our eagles fly. The arrival of this squad is also a direct response to the escalating violence. We have seen abductions in Kaduna, attacks in the Middle Belt, and the persistent threat in the Northeast. The Nigerian government is under immense pressure to deliver results. They have tried everything, and now it seems they are playing the America card. It's a high-stakes gamble. If it works, peace returns and the economy can breathe. If it backfires, we could become a playground for foreign proxy wars. As we move deeper into 2026, keep your eyes on the Northwest and the Northeast. Watch the skies for more airstrikes. Watch the news for more joint operations. The Americans are here, the equipment is here, the money has been signed off. Whether we call it a base or a partnership, the reality is that the US military footprint in Nigeria is larger today than it has ever been in our history.